Yo, what's going on, world? It's your homeboy Cuff with the Brain Surfing Podcast. And today we'll be talking about mental health, physical health, and emotional health with my guest here today. If you want to introduce yourself. And yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself also.
All right, how y'all doing? I'm Zakina, but on social I go by I am deserving. I'm the owner of Aura's Journey to Self Healing, which is a company that I just recently started, and just here to help promote and talk about what it means to heal your emotional, physical, and mental health.
All right, so before we hop into the topics, did you want to tell us a little bit more about your business, what you got going on?
Yes, so the reason I started my business was because I come from like a healthcare setting for like the last 7 to 10 years. I've been working with big companies. I'm not going to mention them here, but as an account manager and just through COVID, like understanding the need for alternative approaches when it comes to managing one's mental, physical, and emotional health.
Right.
Um, just like the traditional approaches and the way that people spend like 30 minutes in a doctor's office and really not getting to the root of like what's causing some of their ailments.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. And so I have seen and bear witness to the need to have not only solutions but products that are around supporting one's journey to self-healing. Because I don't think it's anybody else's responsibility to care about your health. Like a lot of times some of the things that we go through or that we struggle with emotionally and physically and mentally is just due to our lifestyles and our choices. And
Yeah.
so I just thought it would be important and nice to have a product that is centered around mindfulness when it comes to managing those type of things.
Yeah.
And I use different things like crystals and these crystal healing bases that I call auras, amethyst and rose quartz and citrine. And this is a clear quartz that I'm holding right now. But I use those different things along with like good luck bamboo plants. And I use the bamboo plants because not only are they good luck and fortune, or at least that's what they represent, but I also think that it's really nice to have them be like a physical representation of your growth over time.
Right.
So, say you purchase an aura, and at that time, maybe you're going through a breakup, so you purchase the rose quartz because you really want to heal your heart chakra. And then you'll have that plant for weeks and months and years to come. And then as you reflect and look at your plant, you kind of look at yourself and kind of see that growth. Or maybe you don't see growth and maybe you go, damn, I still got shit I need to work on. But
Yeah, look, this is something not to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I like that you get into this, and I think it's very not only profitable, but it can help people in a lot of different ways. And the best thing about it is, right now, I kind of feel like people are being a little bit more aware about mental health. You know what I'm saying? People are actually eating better, so their physical health and emotional health as well. As well.
yeah, or in general, just looking for alternative solutions. Because,
Yeah, yeah.
like, the white, remember on like the cereal boxes and they would have like those little pyramids that kind of tell you
Yep,
what you need to
yep.
eat and like how much you
Mm-hmm.
need to eat, when you need to sleep, and kind of treating us all like we're just little robots. And if everybody does the exact same thing, then everybody should be fine. But it's like, no,
Right.
geographically, we don't all come from the same diets or we don't all have the same, you know, DNA necessarily. Like
Exactly.
us as Afro people, like there are certain things that like lack for some reason. Lactose doesn't just work with our bodies, generally speaking. You know what I
I
mean?
was
So
definitely going to mention milk.
yeah, so we literally have to start like digging a little bit deeper as to what's causing some of the ailments within ourselves. Like even with like relationships, I like to kind of go back to that because I think a lot of people
Yeah.
are like struggling in relationships because they're actually battling with themselves. Maybe they went through a traumatizing situation in the past, and and now they don't know how to heal from that. And but they're lonely and they seek companionship, and then they find themselves in these toxic patterns.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we all can bear witness that we have experienced some level of
Yeah,
toxic
I definitely got
shit.
some. I definitely the older I get, the more I see. Cause I would always say I don't have no trauma. I'm good. Whatever happened when I was younger, like it is what it is. I'm not really tripping. But the older I get, the more I realize how some of the negative things that happened when I was younger, how it really affect me even now as an adult. You know what I'm
Definitely,
saying?
definitely. Even for some of the things that we feel like, okay, I'm getting over it. Why do we always think we need to get over it? You know what I mean? Like some things is just a part of who you are, and there's
Yeah.
nothing to necessarily get over.
Yeah, it's
You know
more
what I
like you
mean?
want to
You
understand where
just
it
need to
come
learn how
from,
to
and
live with it
yeah,
and
yeah,
be the healthiest version of yourself, seeing as though those things have happened because you can't
right,
undo them. You know what I mean? Um, so I think there's a lot that goes into why I like starting my business. And it gets deeper and deeper and deeper, but that's up for you to embark upon. I
right,
just want
right,
to create a product that would at least be centered around that and encourage somebody to take that step and let
right,
one
right.
of my auras be sort of that physical representation of you actually doing that. But the relationship is with you. I read, I study, I'm still learning about what it means to be the healthiest version of myself
Yeah,
because
as we
I'm over
all
here and
are.
finna tap this tobacco right now.
Hey, nah, I look,
Some
I
people
look
say
at.
this ain't necessarily a bad thing,
I
actually.
was
I
just
mean,
gonna
it's
say I don't
herbs.
really look at you know what I'm saying, weed, marijuana, whatever you want to call it. I don't look at that as not a bad thing. It's cool. I mean, anything you use it too much can become something bad,
True that.
but yeah, if you moderate this shit, you be alright. Just
Yep.
don't get too lazy.
Yep. Most definitely. Most definitely.
So, do you have any personal experiences, whether within yourself, kids, family, that also made you want to get into this field?
That's a good question. When I was like 16, my mom passed away. And that's my only parent. And I was the oldest. You know what I mean? So it was just like, yo, a lot of weight was put on my shoulders at an early
Yeah,
age. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And even before she passed away, she was sick from, her physical ailments, kidney failure. And so for
yeah.
like 7 years, she fought through dialysis and I'm 34 right now today. Like Pierre, I'm not even kidding. She passed away at the age that I am right now.
Yeah, that's young as hell. That's
Like the age that I am
crazy.
right now, you know what I mean? She lost her life. From stress, from maintaining poor relationships, from not having, like, her mom passed away when her mother was in her 30s from the same disease. So we're talking about generational curses. Like like
Right.
a living, breathing version of what that is. Like literally, you know what I mean? I don't just say it just to say it. Like it's literally me, because to be the one to change the course of time. You know what I
So
mean?
you seeing it firsthand how it affects people really push you in that direction.
To be like, yo, anything that I do has to be purposeful.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
for sure.
it had, like, even me sitting here with you today, like we've been knowing each other through social
Right.
media, and I've been
Yeah,
watching you
yeah.
grow your podcast, like, and I still, and Pierre's invited me here many times, but I just, it wasn't the time,
Right,
and
right,
now it
right,
is.
right, right. Everything always work out how it's supposed to.
In
Facts.
due time, absolutely. So
But I see you when you tell some of your story, like the way I see you with your kids, it makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? The way that a lot of black men speak on black women, when it comes to just social media, they're not speaking about you. You feel me? Like
yeah,
how I see you with your character, you're very active. I can tell your kids know, they feel that you love them.
yeah,
They don't just hear it;
yeah,
they
yeah,
feel it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a very important thing. But sometimes unfortunate events kind of prepare us and make us even better for when we do have kids.
Hmm.
Like you seem like you how to maybe step into the caretaker role kind of early in your life.
Yes.
So
Yep.
by the time you had kids, it's like I do this.
Yep.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
it affects my relationships with men.
Also,
And
right,
like
right, right.
like I swear I always see, like, I can't be like, I don't know, I have, because I understand. I try to understand everybody's position, in the wilderness of North America, like where we at right now.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
you feel me? Like I try to understand our black men in their position. But I've been a very nurturing woman, very supportive. So when I hear dudes be like, "Oh, females only talk to dudes that got bread," or "females only talk to dudes that," and it's like, I can't really. I mean, he go to work. He got a purpose. He got some and some
Right,
goals behind him.
right.
And them goals make sense, and you passionate about it. Like, why wouldn't I support you? Because none
Exactly.
of us was born with a silver spoon in our mouth. So I'll be right. I've been on the side of, a man or two in my life where I'm like, I believe in what it is that you're trying to do, and it didn't get me nowhere. You know what I mean?
And
So
I was gonna say,
because of my
what
nurturing
happens
spirit, they think, oh,
what happens is
I can pave the way for them. Like,
women
no,
women have a women get in situations where let's support a man the way they want to be supported, and it happens multiple times, and then it leads to nothing. They kind of let the man lead a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Let the man be a man. They kind of follow his lead, support him, and it leads to nothing. And after that happens 2, 3, 4 times, the next guy can't feel away if she's a little cautious about letting him lead. You might got to earn that. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's where that emotional, like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like, you got things like losing your mom or a parent or somebody that you really love. Maybe it's your granny or somebody that really saw you, you know what I mean, as a human being, and it make you think like, dang, you start to ask why,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and then you constantly going through relationships and things are not successful, and you study saying like, dang, why my heart got to keep hurting, you know,
exactly.
and you keep looking outside of yourself saying, oh, because they did that to me, or you know what, because this that and the third, and it's like one thing I've learned through my 34 years of life is I cannot control what's outside of me.
Facts.
Like that's it. Only thing I can control is me and
And
like how I respond to the things that are happening outside of my cipher.
one of my favorite things is never stress about something you can't control. You know what I'm saying?
Like easier said than done, right?
Definitely easier said than done. But you know what? I say this. Me personally, like on the mental health topic, um, me personally, I went through this long phase of my life where there were certain things that I didn't want to be.
Mm,
Right now, you know how a person can tell a lie for months and years, whatever, and they get to a point where they damn near believe the lie.
mm,
I'm gonna tell you something. I I realized it's a real thing and started to apply it in more positive ways though.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'm very shy growing up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still a little bit shy. So I purposely do things that shy people don't do to try to help myself not be as shy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's excellent. That's really actually a great way to like retrain and reprogram yourself.
Yeah.
Like you literally.
Like even doing shit like this, I don't
Mm-hmm.
like being on camera.
That's crazy. I would
But
never.
no one never would know though.
I would never know
You
that.
feel me? I don't like talking to a bunch of people, none of that.
Crazy, like
Yeah.
mainly a loner. You know,
I'm a
stick to
loner.
your. That's
But anyone that's
crazy.
a podcast, they wouldn't know. So I definitely do things to change how I am. If I see
Mhm.
something that could be improved, I like force it damn near.
Mhm.
And I feel anybody could do that if you put your mind to it. You know what I'm saying?
You got it
But that
right.
comes with being self aware and having a certain amount of healthy like mental health.
Bringing it all the way back
Yeah,
to your journey when it comes to self. I could have said anything, but I said
yeah,
your journey to self healing because it's self that has to one acknowledge and see that, because you know how like
yeah.
somebody will keep telling you like you like this, you like this, you like this, and you like, but I don't see it. So if I don't see
Right,
it, how
right,
can I change it, or
right.
how can I make that better or nurture that situation? Like,
And also when multiple people tell you they see something in you, I think we gotta do even when it's something not only something positive but something
but
negative
some next
too.
thing, yeah,
We gotta do better as people as looking within ourselves and seeing why they may feel that way.
mm-hmm,
Because if multiple people tell you, it must hold some type of
mm-hmm,
weight.
yep,
You
yep,
know what I mean?
yep. That's so interesting that you said that because that is so funny. People will definitely be like, "Oh, I am just such a." You said I'm great. I'm so great. Like I am the best. And as soon as they be like, "Bro, that was you wrong," now it's like rah 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 rah.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. You got to be able to take constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? And once again, a lot of that come with self awareness, though.
hmm,
You know what I'm
yep,
saying? And a certain amount of confidence and everything too. Like you got to know who you are as a person. You can't let a person tell you any old thing.
true. You gotta be like it's like having a square that you stand on, but that square is also like 3D, or you can
Right.
build around
Right.
it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I'm
Exactly.
this. This is my square, but now here I am building around it because I'm doing the knowledge. I'm paying attention to what's going on around me. I'm listening and paying attention to sort of those synchronicities that happen in life. Like you ever notice life patterns, and you be like, damn, this same thing
Yeah.
seem like it keep happening to
Yeah.
me.
Straight up. Straight up.
And usually those be things we ain't happy about. Like, damn, this same thing keep happening. So what can I do about it? And a lot of times people don't even think that they can because they can't. The accountability piece is not there.
Exactly.
It takes a strong person to hold themselves accountable for
Yeah.
everything that they do. It's a hard thing to do for majority of people, unfortunately. And I think that's why a lot of times we all could agree that a lot with the world is in shambles simply because everybody's looking here and judging there and pointing here, and
Right.
instead of, you know, taking a look in the mirror, and
So what?
liking who you see.
So one thing I like I say self awareness. You know what I'm saying? Looking back into our childhood and just things we seen and went through growing up, even in our adulthood, our young 20s, and so forth and so on. Right? I know me personally. Um, my emotional health wasn't the best, and it affected me in relationships because
Mm,
now, without going into detail, the things that happened with both my parents, to where I felt like neither one of them loved me.
mm,
Right? So then, like growing up and being in relationships, if a person tells me they love me, it's like
mm-hmm.
damn, it's like I don't believe them, and my expectation for you goes like high as hell. So I almost don't like hearing that shit because it's
Like
like
if you say you love me, then what? You wouldn't act like this, or you wouldn't, or like your
it,
idea what it
it's
looked like
um
wasn't that?
it was just like if I felt like if my mom and dad didn't love me growing up, which I don't feel now, but I felt for a long period of time. I'm like, how could anybody else?
Got you.
So I would always question it,
Yeah, yeah,
and then all of a sudden I have these high expectations where it's like you have to damn near prove it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
you gotta prove it, but it was just like, come on now, bro.
Right.
I done did everything, and you still
And
don't
then
think I
once
love
I,
you.
exactly.
Fuck you, bro.
And then
But
once,
it's over.
and then once I got to the point where I understood where that came from, I got a lot better with it.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, understanding where our trauma comes from, where our mental health issues come from, is really, really big. It's really big. It's gonna help us for our future in our present life. You know what I'm saying? You can't live life holding on to trauma and ever get wherever you really want to be in life
Yeah.
and do much of anything positive,
Yeah.
because that negative energy you're carrying it with you on an everyday basis.
And for those of us that are, those light workers in life, you know what I mean, that's always being the optimist in a situation and like always being the one to make the sacrifice, and
Right.
like that sort of stuff, like protect you too, to an extent. Create
Yeah.
boundaries,
Yeah.
like because you ever notice only people like always just call you with a problem, type shit, like, and you want to be a good person and you feel like you're doing the right thing, but just I feel like everything that I do, I just try to do with balance. And that might be just the Gemini in me,
Right.
it's like everything just gotta be balanced. You feel
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
You know,
got that good and that bad. I know they both exist. You can't have one without the other. We ain't.
facts.
You know what I mean? So
Facts.
how do I balance these things?
And that's something I'm trying to learn now, because I'm definitely the person a lot of people lean on
Mm-hmm.
for emotional help, you know what I'm saying? And also for physical help. They may need money or rides and whatever it may be. Um, but what I noticed is like, see, I'm big on like I try to really treat people how I want to be treated. If I say I fuck with you for real, then I'm gonna do the things that I would think you would do. You know what I'm saying? Like if I claim I fuck with you for real, you claiming the same thing. It's like, well, certain things come with that. If you in a time of need, if I can help you, it is not gonna hurt me to help you, then I have no reason to not do so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I have barely gotten that back from the people that I do that for. So I'm trying to get that, you said, that balance, you know what
That
I mean? Where it's
balance.
like, I want to be who I am, but maybe I only could be that with some people,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
everyone.
And it sucks because it's like, dang, I really, really, really want to, like, for women, like, you really, really want to give your heart to this particular person and this man or what have you. And then, like, you find yourself 5, 6 years down the road still crying and weeping about what? He already showed you who he was the first time. Didn't y'all listen to what Maya
Exactly.
Angelou said?
Exactly.
You feel me? Like,
But my girl be laughing because before, when she wanted to get to the point, we got to the point where she was like, yo, like she wanted to date. She wanted to make it official type, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And so right then and there, I told her who I am, like as far as like dating me, how I am, and like some of the things she didn't like, but like I guess in her head it was like, okay, he'll get better at this and that. What you know what I'm saying? But I told her with certain stuff, I'm like, yo, this is me. I was honest though. 5, 6 years later, it's been 6 years now. It's funny because she bring it up every once in a while, like, nigga, you irritate me with certain shit, but I can't get mad because at the end of the day,
That is
you
just,
did tell
yeah,
me
yeah.
it's these certain things like, yo, that's me. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
it'll be a total deal breaker if you couldn't just accept this certain thing about me. I have a strong
Right.
stance on this and like period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as long as it's balanced, like I said, it's just creating healthy boundaries for the people that you have in your life, even with work. Like, with work. You know what I mean? Like that's another thing that kind of propelled me to like want to take on like the role of some I call it like a micro entrepreneur because it's like I'm literally just starting out. And even though I've been juggling like
No, claim
three,
the entrepreneurs. You doing your thing,
yeah,
shit.
yeah, but
Everybody,
like,
you start when you start doing multiple things. You an entrepreneur even before that
period.
shit kick off. You
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah.
So claim it.
And like my auras was just, and it's crazy because I was thinking about like, okay, a part of what it means to kind of nurture, those different facets of your health is, taking that time to be alone, you know,
Yeah,
or and even if you're not necessarily alone, because how am I alone? I have children, I have siblings, I have friends, I have, you know, other people in my
it's a
life that I,
different type of
but
alone. I know what you mean, though.
getting it like for real, having that, carving out that time for you, like, hey, listen,
Get to know you for
you know what I
real.
mean? Like,
What you can not tolerate, but what you will deal with from a person. What you won't deal with a person. What you will accept. What you want to accept. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
or
taking
even
time to really figure those things
even
out.
with work, like
Yeah,
even
yeah,
even
yeah,
with my kids, like,
yeah, yeah,
listen, little, you know what I mean? Like, this is as far as I can go with that right there. Like, that's it,
yeah,
because even with work, like I found myself like feeling like I'm just devoting just like so much time, you know what I mean, and not getting like I don't mind. I stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning building my website and trying to find a perfect angle for my auras and a perfect picture from. I told you I sleep with the laptop literally next to me, so I work, but it's fulfilling because I feel like I'm reaching
yeah,
for
yeah,
something that's
definitely.
actually gonna be on the other
Yeah,
side of the thing. Versus I sat there and worked my tail off for the last 9 months and I was with my other job for like 5 years, and then I went to this new company, like a company based out of Canada, doing account management with some pretty well known accounts. Like I said, I'm not gonna mention them here,
right.
but like then I found myself getting laid off.
Yeah,
Like, huh? But then like because a year prior, the job that I had for 5 years, I ended up ending my relationship with them because of us not seeing eye to eye around the whole COVID thing. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
So
yeah,
that challenged a lot of situations. You had doctors and quitting their
yeah,
jobs
yeah,
because the integrity behind the situation. For me, it was there. Like I ain't gonna let nobody on TV or none of these scare tactics or none of that like force me into a decision that I'm not ready to make yet. You
yeah.
understand me? And that's where I was at that time. And it was just like,
Oh, they was trying to make you get the shot.
not necessarily, but when you feel like, when people understand when people know your political stance on certain things,
Right,
they say they're not putting their feelings into the situation, but they do.
right, right.
And
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
like it's like this under the rug type of situation.
yeah.
It was just like, yo, pay me my sev and let me get up out this thing. Like
Right.
I grew enough here anyways. Like I'm cool. Like it's
Yeah, I feel
over.
that.
But
Yeah,
even around that time is when I had first started making the auras and started and trying to take because my life at this job was literally helping people lead a healthier and happier lifestyle. Like
right.
that's what I talk to people about when I would talk to them about the program and
And
like
I was gonna ask you before you started doing these orals and everything. How long have you been into?
I was in that field for like a good 6 years, like
Oh,
at that
okay.
particular
Yeah.
company. But like even my whole life has led me to where I'm at today.
Right.
Me having a mother that was stricken with her health at the age of 26, 27, passing away at 34. My grandmother also passed away from kidney failure at the age of 33.
Right.
So my mother lost her mother at 8. So we talking about 2 generations of women, strong women, like, who literally did not have a fulfilling, healthy life. Like
Right.
they
Right.
didn't get to see what it is that God want me to see, I guess. Like, I don't know. But so that all thinking about all of that, like, okay. And then finding myself in a career that's associated with, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
thinking about things from a different perspective. There was always a stigma around mental health, especially in the
In
black
the black
community.
community,
You would be
especially.
like,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
therapist? What? You
I like that.
crazy?
Recently, it's getting better.
It
I
is.
like
And
that.
that's where
I
I
like
thought,
that.
yeah, like we got to keep the conversation going because that's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. So everything that's been happening in my life, I feel like has led me to this point to be like, okay, um, let me try to step out on my own faith. And like all this time I've been doing everything very structurally because, I got babies and I gotta
Yeah.
make sure everything is solid for them. But,
Right.
I'm a first time homeowner, in my family. Like, I'm really proud to be able to just give them the stability. Like, in order to build on anything, you need that square. You need like that stability
Yeah, that's
to be able
facts.
to,
That's facts.
you know what I mean? Like, and we doing this thing, and now I'm and acquired this company.
Congratulations on the first time homeowner too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We can't just skip over that. I
Yeah,
like
like
that. You
I'm
said
like,
34. I
wow.
like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's been about 4 years now since I
Yeah.
since
So
I bought the
okay.
home and everything, and I don't think it's gonna be the last home that I buy. It's just
Right.
to be able to be like, wow, my mom, I was, she was not here, at
Right.
this time, doing the things that I'm doing. So it may not be a lot for most, but it's definitely a big deal for me, and I'm still reaching,
Yeah.
trying to really like get the message out. And it's hard when you have a product that associated with a word that people don't know what it means. So to have the opportunity to be able to like talk through it, and
Yeah.
so when people see or hear or about an aura, maybe they'll think about me and think about
You
the
know
whole
what?
reason behind
See,
it.
I know a few people that when they hear this episode, they gonna
Hmm.
share it because they really into things like this.
Yeah.
And I feel like they probably gonna add you on Instagram. So I think this gonna be a good one.
I am deserving on
Yeah.
Instagram.
I
Look,
am deserving. Make sure y'all add her. And when I post the episode, her information gonna be on a hashtag have your info in there too. Make sure
okay,
everybody can find you.
perfect.
Yeah, but was there
Thank you.
anything else you want to touch on this topic? Anything you want to before we get out of here?
No, I feel like we can go on and on, but I appreciate the
Hey, I
opportunity. I
was
hope it resonated with somebody. I'm sure it definitely will though, because
look,
it's we starting to pull back the veil on these type of things. So
look. I want to say this. We just did the whole episode with like basically no notes. You know what I'm saying? I love the way you delivered your message. You know what I'm saying? Like no, for real, the way you word everything and everything. I think people will receive it well. You know what I'm saying? I think the numbers will do well. I think that you will get good amount of follows and everything on social media. And we definitely gotta do some more information, some more topics and
I have
stuff.
so many things that I
Yeah, we
can
definitely gotta do
talk
some more
about.
topics because I do
For
like how you
sure.
verbalize. You know, what I'm saying, what you feel about things. So yeah, I'm fucking with it.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
one more time, give them your Instagram,
I am deserving.
and that's not only Instagram. Is it on?
It's on TikTok too. I am deserving. I think my Snapchat is too. Yep.
So
Yeah.
make sure y'all add her on all social media platforms. But once again, it's your homeboy Cuff with the Brain Surfing
Brain surfing.
Podcast.
Let's get it.
Thanks for catching these waves.
The fuck y'all do?